Alright, part one basically did a quick intro on the Samhain Witches Ritual, which the event was done by the Lehigh Valley Network of Unified Pagans and Into the Mist shop over in Bethlehem. And I better start paying attention before I get killed. That'd be a cool effect. Just joking. But anyway, so part one was pretty much kind of an introduction and covered, what was going on at the shop and everything. And right now I want to do a quick rundown on the ritual itself. Again, out of respect for the people attending and the ritual itself, there were no photos, or I didn't do any photos or video. But basically, we arrived at a spot right next to the Hotel Bethlehem. So that was the first thing that surprised me about this. Was I was expecting it to be on a path or something like, somewhere out of the way. But this was in plain view of Main Street in Bethlehem. So anybody walking or driving by could easily see it. There was no hiding. There was no what you might think of, oh wow, well, in the middle of the woods, ritual the way pagan rituals are stereotyped. This was pretty much plain view, modern day streets and everything. No time travel, I promise. But anyway, candles were placed on the ancestral altar is what I'll call it. Or the altar that was in place to welcome the ancestors during this ritual. During the ritual itself, here's a tip, whether you are a believer, absolute non-believer, hardcore skeptic. If you are ever attend a ritual or a ceremony where there's a circle and you are invited to be a part of that circle, do it. Honestly. Even though my core beliefs are paganism, I had to maintain objectivity and stay as neutral as humanly possible in this. I'll get to the reason why later, but so I stayed outside the circle. Alright. I'll get to it in a few minutes. But anyway, it was to a point, it was what I expected, where you had I don't want to use the term props, but you had the physical pieces or props, I hate to use that term, on the altar in the main, and where the main ceremony was taking place. You had the opening and closing of the ceremony, which involved facing the four directions, or what some call it, four corners: north, south, east, and west. Alright? So, look it up, because there's a lot of ways to do this, and a lot of things that, a lot of different aspects people may include, people may not include. Look up, Samhain rituals, and do a little bit of research on your own. Okay? But for this ritual, like I said in part one, the main purpose of it was to welcome your ancestors and basically have a conversation with your ancestors, whether it be from your parents, you lost one or both of your parents, grandparents, keep going, a few centuries, a few millennia possibly. But anyway, I'm making light of this, and it was actually a very interesting and very educational experience. Um, at one point there, at one point they did open the west gate, not physical, but the, how can I put this? Not an actual physical gate, but a gate between the realms or worlds or realities, dimensions, whatever term you want to use or however you want to phrase it. But other than that, was, like I said, they went through the chants. They went through, as expected, everything from chants all the way up, including some done by the person and people performing the ceremony, to involving the people that form the circle. Now, the importance of the circle in any most pagan rituals is kind of protection, all right? Where you welcome in what you choose or what you hope will show up and what you're trying to achieve, and you keep out the rest. In other words, the good come in, the bad stay out, to put it blatantly in layman's terms. Okay? So, now, I'm going to get to why I said if you're invited to be a part of the circle, do it. And even though my core beliefs and my base beliefs are in paganism, I am an extreme skeptic, even when I experience something, as far as believing it. Alright? Well, yeah. As I stated, I was standing outside the circle, objectivity, and observing. Right? Well, here's what I experienced during the ceremony. There were moments where I became ice cold, and I'm not talking, there was, the 50s, low 60s, I don't know, windbreaker, t-shirt, and long sleeve shirt, and my hands, my face weren't cold, but there were times where an icy chill, literal freezing cold, ran through my body, to the point where I actually I shivered, and it was like, yo, okay, I'm frozen. Alright? I also experienced 2 or 3 moments of what felt like electricity going through me. And I've had this before, just because for some strange reason I can sense it. Absolute pure moments of absolute pure fear, and almost like a broken record going through my head. Don't do it, this is a bad idea. Don't open that gate, this is a bad idea. Don't do it, this is a really bad idea. Alright? And that I wasn't expecting at all. Expecting, okay, stand outside, watch what's going on, article, bam, done deal. I wasn't expecting to have any effects. Well, excuse me. From what I could figure out, is that the only thing that even comes close to making sense to me when I experience these is either on subconscious level, logically, that I was expecting to experience something. Alright? Or if they did open the gate, and I say if only because, again, I have to remain neutral and objective and logical about this. That while everybody that formed the circle was experiencing the good, I was getting everything outside of it. I was getting all the after and side effects of it. Alright? Now here's something that, this is one of those where, okay, well, if they wouldn't have been performing the ceremony, would this still have happened? there was a wind kicked up. I remember feeling one from the west and one from the south. Two different times. Now, it was windy and we have rain coming in, so chalk that up to, yeah, probably no big deal. There were birds that flew overhead. Again, was it because of the ceremony? Was it not? The way the temperature's been up and down, okay, chalk that up to whatever. You know, chalk that up to logic, and yeah, okay, no big deal. The third thing, though, which was really weird, was the first time you heard the birds was at the very beginning, was the moment, almost at the same moment the ceremony started. I really don't believe in coincidence. That was just, the timing on it was almost too perfect. All right, and these birds weren't sitting around. These birds were up high, so it couldn't, you know, no one on the ground affected. And I was constantly watching the people and everything, you know, the candles and everything, to see if something would have actually come through that would have decided to manifest itself in some physical form. All right, but other than that, it was your standard ritual, like in ceremony, like any other religion on the face of this planet. Alright, so nothing really freaky happened, but I felt that I had to relay my personal experiences to you. In, like I said, at times it was a very icy chill, two or three moments where I felt like I had electricity going through me, and a few moments of pure, absolute fear, to the point where I felt like I had to get, it took a lot of self-control not to get the hell out of there. And with the ice cold, what? An article for my magazine. An article for my magazine.